stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, I'm sorry. We need the roll call first.
We can do roll call first.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Commissioner Dornbecker?
Present.
Commissioner Lay?
Present.
Commissioner Hudson?
Here.
Commissioner Meredith? Oh, wait, she's not.
She is absent.
She's absent, excuse me. Commissioner Resnick?
Here.
Vice Chair Caption?
Here.
And Chair Shar? Chair, excuse
Sorry.
me.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. In the car? Okay. Any questions about the agenda? Do we agree to adopt? Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of the minutes. Any questions or anything you want to talk about?
I just noticed that there are about 4 times where Noelle is referenced by her last name without commissioner, where everybody else is identified by their position. And
So I guess my lawyer reached you?
yes, I took the call.
That. Where did you see that? I didn't see
It's
I
under
didn't even
adoption
notice
of
it. Thank
agenda,
you.
That is.
approval of minutes, and then near the end, under adjournment and the votes for adjournment.
Yeah, so the system auto-populates that, so it must be wrong somewhere. We'll check it out.
Okay.
Oh, I see
And
that.
thank you, Jeff.
Chair, vice chair, then right, yeah. I do see. Okay.
Just pass that on to your attorney.
Shall, thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
being taken care of.
Okay, is there a vote to, with that correction, is there a vote to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Are there any public comments or are we expecting any people?
There's no public comment.
Okay, thank you. Sam, Art Fund report.
Yes. Let me flip to that. So this was as of February 29th. It was funny typing that because it's not often that we have a leap day or leap year. So our actuals for the 015415, slowly our revenue is increasing. Next month you'll see a big change in that because we have all of the money from the booth spaces for Art Sip and Stroll as well as Art Sip and Stroll sales coming in.
I'm sorry, money from where?
Oh, the Art Sip and Stroll booth fees have all been paid for the most part, and then the sales for ticket passes have started to come in as well.
All right.
So that you don't really see that as of February, but you'll start seeing it in the future reports. And then the same with expenses. You'll start seeing the large expenses go out for tenting and things like that. So that'll change. And then art sales revenue and art sales commission expense you see there. So that's for sculpture or gallery art sold. And then for paying the artists. I don't believe the gallery sales were included in here for the end of February, but we did end up selling, I think we're at 4 pieces now that were sold in the previous show, maybe 5.
All right. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And then there's the restricted fund, the public art program fee fund for the art walk. No real change there. We do, because of that $10,000 transfer we made, we do still have a fund balance there of just over $8,600. And, for some reason, it got cut off there, but there's been no change in the Town Yountville Community Foundation. But I don't see it there. I don't know what happened to it. But we've had no change there. I'm happy to answer any questions.
That's good to me. think I have any.
Any questions? You all good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Artwork committee.
Don't forget to pull your mic down, Rhonda.
Sorry. Art Walk Subcommittee, the future of the world is in our hands is the topic. Have you had a chance to read through this? Do you know about it? It's a sculpture that Don Moore worked for the town of Yountville in Public Works. The town had at the time, I don't know if they still do, the ability to fund certain educational projects for its employees. He was taking a class, I think, at Napa College on welding of found materials, is what I recall. So he designed the sculpture, was very proud of it, finished the class, but I don't know if he had any other place to put it, but it was 2011, we were just starting the art walk. So we poured a pad. Apparently he never really donated it to us. I thought he had. But it's been in Yountville Park ever since. So along comes Pam Reeves and her committee and asks if we would consider basically donating the sculpture in honor of Jennifer, who worked for the town for many years, most of her life. So fast forward, it's full steam ahead now on it. Dawn is donating the sculpture in Jennifer's honor to the town, and the town will then dedicate it to Jennifer. So everybody's on board. There's a real grassroots project going on about a picnic on April 21st to celebrate Jennifer, and it's a potluck and everything you can do to salute her, thank her. And for our part, other than the connection with Don and talking to him, I've been helping them with the plaque. It's a beautiful plaque. It's going to be an 8x10. They're paying for everything. They've been fundraising. So I'm looking at that. Other than that, and the only thing that we ask is that you approve the concept, and that once we approve of the concept, then we'll send it on to council for their approval.
So they haven't approved it yet. It's just started there, and now it's finishing up, and then it will ultimately go for the approval.
Of their approval.
Okay,
Yep.
got it.
We're kind of the interim.
Right,
Because
you're the
it's-
first level of approval, and then it'll go to council on April
Got it.
16th.
It's really, other than the honor to Jennifer, it's pretty much all the same to us on the art walk, because it's been, even though we said I used to call it semi-permanent because we could sell it, but it was really something Don had placed on the art walk, so we really never did. And one time since 2011, did I even have a phone call on it? So, but it is on the art walk, and so this is sort of has no impact to the art walk in terms of taking up a pad. The pad's been there with
I have
it.
a couple comments regarding. One, I never really knew the history of that sculpture and that it was something that Don, and just that whole thing. But that's always been one of my favorites. I've always thought it was so cool. And so, it sounds like everybody's on board and in support of dedicating it to Jennifer, which I think is a really lovely gesture. So I was just going to say, sometimes I lament that sculpture is all the way down in the park down there, because I feel like not everyone who comes to town and does the art walk, they don't necessarily go that far, because most of our pieces don't go that far. So I don't know if we've thought about doing some switcheroos and relocating things. Is that too expensive or out of the realm of reason to think that at some point maybe we swap something?
We've talked about it for other sculptures, so no. But in this case, the reason it's in the park, well, a couple of reasons. When we started the art walk, we didn't have, we had 5, 6 sculptures or whatever it was. So we were trying to stretch it out. And the other thing is, it being a park and primarily a children's park, you have to be careful for a lot of reasons on what we put up there. And children climb all over that thing. Well, it's found materials, it's got dents, it's got whatever. It's not much that they can do to hurt it. Well, I shouldn't say that, but so
Give them
far.
a challenge, yeah.
Yeah, so
Or hurt
far.
themselves.
And also because Jennifer worked with the children and the sculptures.
So maybe that does make
work.
sense, that it's just the best place for it to be.
I
but-
agree with that.
been
Yeah,
thought that.
I do. I agree with that too, but I still lament that it's all the way down there where not everyone gets to see it, because I do think it's such a cool one.
Well, when you have thoughts like that about other sculptures, and Sam and I have talked about
Yeah.
the slingshot that's here, and we have 2 years. Sometimes a sculpture is stagnant in the location that it's in. If you see that, let me know.
And I think all of us, when we see something from a different angle and a different light, it helps
yeah.
us see it afresh. So,
Yeah, definitely.
I think one of the great things about that sculpture is that that's a community park, and this is very much a community
yeah.
event thing.
And Jennifer's been such a part of community
Yeah.
and all that she does. I
So
think
yeah,
it's
super
wonderful.
cool. So
Yeah,
do we make a motion to
Yes.
approve
To
this?
approve.
May I make that motion?
To approve the sculpture.
Yes, approve the
Yes.
sculpture donation and dedication to Jennifer.
And
Well
I'd like to
second.
second that. Well, we would like to second that.
Okay.
Or one of
So
us.
PJ nominated and Rita and Noel seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank
Can I
you
just
all.
ask one more question? I don't quite understand the connection between Jennifer and that sculpture. Is it? I have no
about the children.
problem with it. I'm sorry?
Jennifer is about the children, and the sculpture is, the future of the world is in our hands.
Okay,
About
okay.
children.
Thank you.
And it's a community park, and Jennifer works for Kiwanis, and she works for
okay.
Department of Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
She is so embedded in this community with everything that she's done, that I think it's wonderful that this is in one of our
Yeah.
parks. It
Yeah.
just makes sense.
And she and Don, when Don did work for the town, apparently worked together quite a bit.
Okay.
So he's fond of her, they're fond
Yeah.
of each other, so
That's good.
there's that
That's
connection.
good
too.
to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just didn't make the connection.
Of course. Okay, so what else are we doing? Well, you've all mentioned, I think at one time or another, the condition of chaos, and
And we haven't seen you go clean it yet, Rhonda. With everything that you do.
for this one particular vendor, I would have done it for what he was asking for. It's, first of all, I want you to know, Jed Novat, whose sculpture it is, has been fantastic. He really cares about his sculpture. And the woman who donated it, Mary Spencer, sent me an email saying, I understand you're taking steps to get it fixed, cleaned up, and it means a lot to her former husband, now deceased husband, I should say, and her. They're close to Jed, and we all want to see the sculpture. We want to be proud of it, and on and on. So Jed has called me. He lives in the south of France. He's called me at least 4 times to try to get this squared away, trying to help us find vendors, people who can do it. It's complicated, but there's a foundry out of Berkeley that we're trying to work with, and last time I talked to him, he was going to come down substantially from his quote. It involves getting up with a cherry picker. It involves, rotation. Somebody has to drive the cherry picker. Somebody has to do the rubbing. And he, as Jed said, it's not rocket science. It's just the labor, the wax.
laborious,
Yeah. And if it's done right, then we should be good for 2-3 years. It's a bronze sculpture, and Jed was quick to point out that, not quick, but he did point out that bronzes are so difficult for this reason. And that he now works in Corten steel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. And that a lot of sculptors have gone that route. You can do any size, there's some restrictions, but it makes sense because the weather isn't going to hurt it. So his feeling is we get it back up as best we can, and there's a plan for that. And then we enjoy the patina. And then, it's going to, birds are going to shit on it. Things are going to happen to it. But we just keep our eye on it. And the next time, if we see something we don't like, some changes, we can go in there at less expense and have kind of an ongoing program. So just so you know, because several of you have mentioned it, we're working on it.
Cool.
Excuse me. I have another, I guess, point about the last. Can I still bring it up? Is it too late for that? About the sculpture in the park. We have a poem that we're in the process of approving for that sculpture. That, as it turns out, was also written by a vintage high school student. Does that need to be included in the information that goes before the town council, or can we go ahead and just do that?
No, it doesn't.
It
It doesn't have to go to council. It's just a program we are running. No.
As long Cindy and I have talked about editing the QR code to pretty much, it's the dedication plaque is all about Jennifer, whereas usually we're all about the artist on our plaques. So we decided that we would like to leave some information about Dawn, so it's pretty much what it is, and then add that the sculpture was dedicated to Jennifer in 2024, something like that. And then Cindy, I would assume you'd just add the poem after that.
Right.
Yeah.
If you send me the, the recording.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect that a young person has written a poem for them.
I
It
was
just fits
thinking
perfect.
Same thing. Yeah.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. Okay. Cindy.
Oh, yes. I was going to say something about Chaos Pamplona. No. Okay, gallery subcommittee. Upcoming shows, really, that has not changed, except that we are now in April. So Andrea's show is opening this week. So I hope you all got my email. She's fantastic to work with.
What time do you want us there?
5:30, I think, right? Yeah, 5:30. So today, the show. So we're going to hang the show tomorrow. If anybody wants to come by and help, we'll start at 9:30. You got my email? Or
Yes,
my text? Yeah.
I'll be there.
So I'm going to put the big piece in my car, and then it seems like everybody associated with the show owns a Prius. So fine. So you'll see like this caravan of Prii going from Andrea's house to the gallery. It'll probably only take about 30 trips, but what the heck? No,
I could come and drive with you if you want. Yeah.
I think Kyle's going to be there, so it should be okay.
I'm just going to add another Prius to the
Another Prius. I know you're one of the Priuses, the Prii.
parade of Priuses.
So please come, tell your friends. I think she's just amazing, and we're so lucky to have her. And I've seen a preview of the show. It's going to be really, really cool. And then the rest are all works in progress in the future, and then that's pretty much all I have.
Is that this
Oh, I know. I
Thursday?
have something else.
Yes.
This is what I was going to say about the art walk. When Rhonda and I were talking, this has nothing to do with gallery. Gosh, I'm going backwards too, Jeffrey. Okay. Is that okay?
Your chair has a world of openness.
Oh, that's good. Okay. I thought
As long as you're not asking for a revote or something, we're fine.
Oh, okay, great. Time travel. So when Rhonda and I were talking about the plaque for Jennifer, and I was redoing the copy on the audio tour, and she told me that she actually had listened to every one of the stops in preparation for something that never really happened. Well, kind of happened. Whatever. So I thought, well, the robot voices. I'm probably going to be struck down at some point in the future because AI is going to, shoot me with a lightning bolt. But the AI
Supposed to
voices.
speak nicely to them when you
yes,
ask them for help. You know that, right?
I get in trouble with Siri all the time. Don't take that attitude with me. So, so the point is that we'd like to get rid of the AI voices. Oh my God, I feel like this is going to come back and haunt me. Not that we don't like it and appreciate AI, but so it would be cool if everybody could, adopt a sculpture or two down the road and record it in their voice, so it's not just me and Jeffrey and Jim McDonald and a few.
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
Could we just all get together someday and just do them? Like,
Sing We Are the World.
there you go. We could do that.
I think we
Why
should
don't
make
we do that? I
appointments
think
to do
would
it
be-
because we'll be sitting there for quite a while to record all of those, I think.
Yeah, you don't want to do it all together.
No, but
We should do it.
yeah.
So basically,
fun.
look up if you haven't been to the Yountville audio tour, and then you see the copy that's written there, and then you read it into your iPhone
Okay.
and send it
just
to
send
me.
it. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's
All
simple
right.
enough. Then we just need to sign up for installations.
Yeah, do you want to tell us which ones you need? If you go through each one of them, the AI ones,
Are obvious.
the syllables are all wrong, and it's noticeable. It's great. I mean, it's not great that they're wrong. It's just great to have that tool.
Yeah.
But you do notice.
It's funny that they haven't updated the website to use an AI voice that is more non-robotic.
Yes.
Because that's out there too. But for $29 a month.
Exactly.
Oh, he's amazing. That guy is
They are
so great to work with.
Yeah.
And Stephen, what I'll do is I'll send a list of the available sculptures to everybody, and then you can all just say I want 1 through 5 or whatever 1 through 7
Okay.
or whatever. So
Can I do it too? That sounds fun.
yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, you could do it.
Fun.
All right, we'll all come together.
I would think it wouldn't take that long. I mean,
I think it'd be kind of
And it
fun.
would be
Oh no,
kind
it
of
only
fun.
takes a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We'll read to each other.
There you
It'll be
go.
like story time.
Yes, exactly.
We could ask Jeffrey if he'd set us up in the Heritage Room. We could. Kidding.
Sure, we
Karaoke.
put our little blankets down.
Because then
and-
we could critique and we could be
And
like,
we
wait,
can
one
dance.
more time. Okay,
Yeah.
I like take two. Better
Absolutely.
take great idea, Samantha.
Let's sell tickets.
Yeah, there we go. No, let's
Yes,
not do
thank you.
that.
Sell tickets.
Thank you. Okay,
Great
sounds
idea.
good.
Yes, great idea.
Oh, new Steve Rogers sign-in story. Rhonda, talk about this, please.
Okay, well, if you've been by the gallery, we have new signs for Steve Rogers Gallery.
Oh,
This is just the layout for cool. And they're really pretty. And then
They are.
thank you. That's our friend Michael Aronson, who does Arts and Minstrel graphics and various graphic projects. He did that. So it turns out that Steve Rogers has been asked a few times about why the gallery was named after him. So could we have a story of some kind? So Sam and I worked some copy up. It's being made, so we'll find a place for that too. I was wondering if we could put it on those slat doors, the storage doors, because we can't hang art there anyway, and we have so many signs going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
That makes sense.
So the sign company's been very slow, But anyway, that's coming too, just so you know.
I have to say, Rhonda, this was brilliant. And Sam, it's so classy. And ultimately, one day, we're just going to see that logo, and we're going to know it's our gallery.
That's right. We will.
It's lovely.
No, I'm serious. It's absolutely stunning.
That was all Rhonda.
Well, no.
It's beautiful.
Michael
Yeah.
Aaron's
I didn't
Very
get
cool.
to it.
Anyway.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Jeffrey.
Yes.
Jeffrey. Unless you want to interrupt again,
Nope,
Cindy?
no, I'm
Thank
good. I'm good. I am good.
Wait till I get started, then you can. Do you want to talk about Rex Pickett first?
Sure, I can. We're all set with Thursday, August 29th, 5:30. And the ticket link is live, $30 to purchase tickets. And Rex has also linked that to his website as well, so they are really promoting the event as well. So we are, hopefully expecting a big turnout. I don't know, Samantha, do we have any update on ticket sales? Have we sold any yet? Or
No, our rec
it's-
guide comes out tomorrow. And
Okay.
And we're actually, as we speak, working on updating our Yountville Arts website
Okay.
for all that. So it really hasn't been pushed out
Okay,
yet.
okay. And I know Rex's associate sent me today, which I forwarded to you, Sam, you may not have seen it, but an update to some of the pros that we had put together. Okay, and I thought her ideas were really good to incorporate into it. But the way that evening, we're planning for it to go is, upon arrival, there will be wine and charcuterie nibbles for people. We'll introduce Rex. We'll have kind of some general questions for him just to kind of get him started. But then he will delve into all of his stories, and he has many, and he's really funny. So I think, it'll be super entertaining. That'll go for like a half hour, and then a Q&A session, and then from 6:30 to 7, people can purchase and have books signed. So we're excited for that. I think, for right now, all systems are go.
Can I ask
Great
a
job.
question?
Yeah.
PJ, are we going to have the film to show? Do you know, has that worked out?
So that's a separate thing on the performing arts report.
Pardon me. Okay.
But, yeah.
Nice.
So, PJ, does his organization have press releases, standard press releases? I would think they would be careful about what one would say. Do you know?
So, yes, so I have been working back and forth with his team, Joy is her name, and have shared with her what we had put together, and she was fine with it. But then she came back with kind of some modifications that she said, what about this, just to really kind of amp it up.
Is it a release or is it?
It's not a release, but it's just no, it's not a release. So, and I'm sorry if I'm not understanding or answering your question.
It's a lot of times I would think particularly notable people like Rex has a press release standard. This goes out to any place I'm speaking, or this goes out to any co-author things or whatever he's doing.
Is it artwork with a few lines? Is it a flyer? Is it, what did she?
She just sent us, so we put it up on the event website with the ticketing, and it had a blurb. And so she
Okay.
just sent a revised blurb, but we'll work with them on a press
Great,
release
great.
after
Okay.
as we move forward. We're really, it's obviously not till the end of August.
Right,
We're really
right.
Right. Yeah.
But with the rec guide coming out tomorrow, and just that kind of starts kind of a rolling thing. So we'll work on
Yeah,
a press
okay.
release. that-
Because I know we ultimately
I'm happy
want to
to
make
help
sure
with
that
that.
we get it in, Napa Valley Life, and obviously in the Sun, and in all of the places that we want it to be.
And press pictures, probably?
He sent that
Okay.
already.
Cover of the book?
Yep, we got all
Yep,
that.
we have all that.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good job. It's great. You really tracked
Good
him
job.
down. You did a good job
Thank you.
He's so beloved and well-known. It's going to be a lovely event.
Well, and what's really cool is that this year is the 20-year anniversary of the release of Sideways. So the fact that this is all just coming together when it is, especially because I know that this was something I talked about a while ago and just, due to other projects and stuff, just didn't get around to it. Well, it ended up kind of being a serendipity that we didn't get around to it.
Yeah, it's even
Good
better.
job.
Good job.
Yeah.
So the remainder I've outlined in terms of other things that are happening with the Literary Committee. We have revised our timeline and have started to work on this year's second annual Bookmark Stories contest. And it looks like the support from the Friends of the Yountville Library and the library will continue annually at this point. One of the changes we're making is that we're going to give 5 awards, but 3 will go to adults and 2 to youth, ages 18 or below. Actually, we need to think about that a little bit because students at the college are also kind of youth, and I wonder about doing 22 and below or 21 and below. Yeah.
22.
So we need to set that up on the as a entry on the website, so we have to finalize that. But your thoughts are more including the student age populations, 21 or below, maybe?
Makes sense, I guess. But I know when I turned 18, I didn't want to be considered in the youth category.
And I
Well, you
think-
don't have to be.
And the youth, the young ones might feel a little intimidated knowing that these
Right.
older
They're
kids.
going against a 21-year-old
So keep it
or
at
something.
18, you think?
I think 18 is better. Even what's high school? That's high school age.
Yeah.
18, 17 or 18. That's what I would think.
I think it's really great that you are going to have free submissions rather than charging them even a little bit for each one.
Yeah, when we did last year with the library card, a lot of them ended up being free, and Samantha suggests it wasn't worth the headache to charge for it. We didn't make that much money, so
Good
yeah.
job.
It was somewhat of a practical issue as well.
Hey, we're all just learning here, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's a fun event, though. You did a great job. Everybody still talks about it.
Oh, good. So we'll set up the celebration on September 26th, which will give us, I think, plenty of time to get everything together. And then we'll do this generally as our timeline for next year as well. The improvisation classes are going well. The third one we had much lower. Richard couldn't be there, and we had a substitute. It was very well done, but we only had about 12 to 15 people there on the third one. He'll be back for the next 3. We'll probably get closer to the original numbers. The writing celebration class meets tomorrow again and is going quite well with 9 to 10 participants.
Excuse me, Jeffrey.
Yes.
I have jury duty tomorrow.
Oh, with 8 to 9 participants tomorrow. Sorry.
Oh, my.
Miss you.
I have to
I'll
report
bet.
at 8 a.m.
Yeah,
You might be released by 11.
If I am, I'll come over.
that'd be great. That'd be great. The Poet Laureate conversation, I think, went quite well. On March 21st, I was a little disappointed we didn't have more people there. There were about 25. But the questions from John and the responses and interactions of the 3 Poet Laureates, I thought, were very well done. And it was a
was
very
excellent.
nice event. Just a smaller turnout than I had hoped is all. Looks like we are going ahead with a June 9th handwritten out loud. I'm in the process of sending out and making announcements, distributing things. We'll get a press release for that done up shortly. And we also have about 6 or 7 more poems in. Several were promised by around the end of March, 1st of July. It's not a hard and fast deadline, so I'll reach out to them and see if other people are doing that. But we'll continue to include those, and I'll get those to you as they get approved, Cindy. I think that's it. Any questions?
No, but comments. You have done an incredible job with what was pretty much a non-existent category previously in the
Yeah.
Arts Commission.
Absolutely.
And
Bravo.
Thank you.
this is all returning after last year's success. It's just a full page. You've just done a brilliant job.
Fantastic.
You have. I mean,
Say
there's
he's very-
something, always something.
And if you have a chance to stop by the improv class, I think you don't give yourself the kudos you deserve. It is packed in there, and the people that are attending. I mean, I spoke to Jeff and Joey, and they are just having the best time. And 25 people in a class is pretty substantial.
It's a lot. It's a big increase.
Really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Great.
Thank you.
Well, we'll give you the kudos.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Does anybody like another question before we move on, or will you wait until you can interrupt?
Well, like the interrupted.
I think I said,
I actually
excuse
kind of
me.
missed it, Cindy. I was waiting for it.
Brings out the kids in us.
And
Okay. Marketing.
Marketing. A lot going on with Art Sip and Stroll coming up. We'll start with the Art Walk. We had a great email blast come out. Thank you, Samantha from Yountville Arts, when the tickets went on sale March 1st, and it really had wide distribution, so that was really terrific in everybody's mailbox. And then we got a nice mention in the Chamber newsletter for the Best of Napa Valley Award for Best Art Collection and Galleries for the Art Walk, which was lovely. We were in the top 3, and that was on March 1st. Just starting with the month of March, we're already off to a good start. And then we had another great FAM tour given by Jim McDonald. I think I touched on it last time, but that happened, and I think you dropped by, didn't you, Rhonda? To see Jim give that tour, and he was well on his way with Ms. Tart.
Oh, yeah. They were at Hopper Creek when I...
Yeah, she's a very prolific writer for magazines and publications, and we so appreciate what Jim does when he comes and stands in for us, because sometimes we get the notification for these FAM tours not at the very last moment, but sometimes close to the last moment, and we're just not available. So he's been doing a wonderful job of doing that for us. And we are also then, for the Art Walk, we're going to be updating the Art Walk catalog that was initially the the holiday issue, and now Sam came up with a beautiful rendition for it to be vineyards. Last year we used mustard, and now we've been working on vineyard backgrounds, and it's going to be updated shortly, which will be very nice on our website. And it's also a good catalog for us, for people to look at when we want to send it out. Yountville Arts. I had a meeting with this publication. I know we talked about it. I want to pass it around to everybody. This is a magnificent publication called 6557. It started in Carmel as just 65 degrees, which is their temperature, and then when they added Napa Valley, they added 57 degrees. And it's one of those publications where it's great. You turn it this way for Napa, and you turn it this way for Carmel. And Rhonda brought it to my attention. She says, "This is wonderful. We really need to be in this." So I reached out to a writer that I know and had a meeting with her, and it went really well. And then I connected with the editor of the magazine, who we had a great talk. He has such high regard for beautiful things and causes and the arts, and I sent him lots of information on all the programs that we are all contributing to as an arts commission, and he was very impressed with what we're doing. And he happened to mention that the spring issue wasn't quite closed yet. So I took it as an invitation, and I sent him all the information on Art Sip and Stroll. I sent the copy, I sent photographs that we had, and we sent the beautiful poster. And if you look at the back of our packet, we have this beautiful full-page ad in this publication in the new issue that's coming out. So we're really excited about that.
So that's going to be in this.
In this. in the spring issue. I'm sorry, this is let's see, that's the winter issue. And it will be out shortly. You can see it digitally. If you go to 65 Degrees magazine, you can see the whole digital issue, and it's really a lovely magazine. They have a reach of 112,000 people. And what's really wonderful is, Rhonda and I were talking before the meeting, we have the Bay Area pretty well covered with marketing, with all our publications that we're in, all our calendars we're in. Of course, it's never too late to have more, but we have nice coverage. What's beautiful about this publication is it takes us down to Monterey and Carmel.
Awesome.
And it gives us an opportunity to really have a lot of exposure there and driving distance to visit us. And also a community of people that might be interested in also purchasing art, coming to our galleries. So we're really excited about that. So that was successful, and I'm pleased about that.
It's so hard to crack that Carmel market. You can't get them to pay attention to Napa Valley, and here it is. This is a vehicle.
Way to go. Yeah.
In room. It's in room in Carmel, and I think in the future they want to be in room here. So it's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And then I've been checking every day, waiting for the new issue, the spring issue of Napa Valley Life, where I believe we're going to have a nice article about Yountville arts in there. So as soon as I see it, I will be sending it to everybody, which will be really lovely. Marita is working on the history of the arts, of Yountville arts, and she's having yet another group get together to talk to. Well, actually, why don't you talk about it?
I'd be happy to. So on the 9th of April, we're having a Zoom call with most of the major players from the very early days, Rob Anglin, Rob Winterberg. Nancy Gates had a book club. That was part of it, and she'll be joining us.
Oh, fun.
And, of course, Rhonda and
Kim
Kim and Samantha.
and Steve.
And Steve Rogers. So it'll be at 11 on the 9th, and I think it'll be great because we'll get the different aspects of all of it. And what I'm looking for is how to talk about how we transition from a small committee to what we are today, which is a very powerful commission, so, and a very successful one. So I'm really excited about it, and I'll be writing it. I may be talking to you, Jeffrey. Help me. No, but I'm really looking forward to it. I was tangential in the beginning because I was on the council, so I would go by and go to some of the meetings because they were interesting. But I didn't go to all of them, but I know all of the players, so that'll be great.
I would think there would be greater opportunity here, too. Once this is all put together, you'll have such valuable information. But interesting, because I know, I would imagine our town council members would be very interested. I know Marjorie loves history. I know our town council is so supportive of the arts, and whether it's an event where we bring in certain people to be on a panel and talk about it, and then we'll also have this document or
That's a great
article that
idea.
you're putting together. But after that's all done, we should think about what kind of event we can put together.
Let's have a party.
Yeah. Let's celebrate all the years of. So,
I think so, too. Thank you.
no,
Yeah.
thank you. I know
Are you-
you've been working really hard on that.
Are you gathering old photographs as well?
Not yet.
Not yet, but that's a thought. I mean, make a note of that.
I don't even know if we have any.
I'm not sure,
so
but
renegade.
I'll come and visit Samantha soon and ask her to help me go through the archives.
Did?
Yeah, I would think so. Even if it's pictures of town, you're going to see the art in it or not.
We had one smaller meeting, Kim, Steve, and I, and we had a great time. I hope Marita got some material out of us.
You recorded it, correct?
I recorded
So
it.
we'll have sound bites too. I'm not sure if there's an audio-visual event. I don't know
I'm
if
not
it's
sure
something.
if we talk to each other a lot.
It's
I hope
great,
you
though.
guys-
I love the video.
Okay.
When you see it, you'll really like it, I hope.
Okay.
But anyway, I plan to also record the Zoom call. So Noelle gave me a good source to figure out how to do that.
Did you also look into a bigger account than a personal account? Because you'll be cut off at 45 minutes with a personal account.
Maybe I should set it up then.
Yeah, you should have Samantha set it up. You can talk as long as you want, but when it's a personal account, 45 minutes, they shut it
I
down.
sent the link out already, but
Yeah, we can send a replacement.
we have time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the thought. I thought that because I was paying for this account that I,
Oh, maybe you do have a business account then? If you're
well,
paying
but I'm
for it.
paying for a small amount of money per month.
It's not through the town, her account, so.
But wouldn't it be business? Because most of us don't pay for our Zoom accounts, so I would think, well, you should look into that.
I will.
Just know
Yeah,
that.
I pay monthly.
Yeah, you
for
probably have it.
But I don't think it's like having the account here.
Yeah, well, they have free accounts, so if you're paying something, I would think that you're
I would
paying
too.
for a step up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
You should
think I
check it.
get more than an hour because
Good.
of that.
Because that would be awful, because they do. They
Yeah,
cut
they
you
will
off.
cut you off.
I remember
Just go dead.
when I used a free account, but I do regular Zooms with a few groups. And
We've
so-
used a free account, you and I.
Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Quick, pick up the phone. Well, that's
But
great.
I'll check in with you about that, Sam, all right?
Sounds good.
There's going to be lots of opportunities after you pull that all together. I know it's a lot of work, but
I don't mind.
worth
I'm
it.
excited about it. I
Have it
really like this
documented.
project.
It's great.
Are you videoing or are you audio recording?
When we have the Zoom,
No, when you met with Rhonda and Kim
I
and Steve.
video recorded.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we got all
Oh,
dressed
you got
up.
all kinds of assets.
Wait till you see it.
Fantastic. That's
I'm not going to
fantastic.
show it to Rhonda.
So needless to say, we are full speed ahead with Art Sip and Stroll. You see the ad in that magazine, and we've also been getting a lot of play with Chamber. The Chamber Direct Marketing email went out talking about Art Sip and Stroll. The Chamber newsletter wrote about Art Sip and Stroll, or posted it. Canvas is posting it, and one of the writers who's come here. Oh, I'm going to let you talk about that. You're not free yet. One of the writers who's worked with us before that we met on a FAM tour is taking a bunch of our photos, and she's going to see if there's any place she might be able to post Art Sip and Stroll. So it's just, our Arts Commission and our events are just speaking for themselves, and that's a perfect segue to you, Sam. I think you should share your news about Art Sip and Stroll.
Oh, well, I don't know if
It
it's
has to do with cars.
a done deal yet, but we were contacted by BMW of Fairfield to see if they could come on as a sponsor and then show some cars at our event.
Oh,
I know that.
Well, they asked for a
I'll
babe
be
to be in the
reaching
front
out for
seat
that.
waving at people, so we thought of
okay.
you, of course.
Yeah, PJ.
There you go, PJ.
Yeah, I could do that.
Once again, I think it just goes to show the scope of the events that we all put together. Yes, marketing's important, but if you don't have anything to market, I always say this, you're not going to get any play. So we've just got a lot of great stuff going on, and the fact that BMW called us, I think is just incredible.
Can't you see it?
I so can see it.
the beautiful BMW?
They were huge sponsors at the tennis tournament down in Indian Wells.
Well, you know
they
them
were the
already.
major sponsors,
Yeah,
and so
you
they
know
had their
them
cars
already.
parked all over the
And we'll
place.
guarantee there will
It's
be no
very
bees
cool.
there.
We need more than 5 cars.
He's a good tennis player.
Yeah, we need more than 5 cars.
And then, of course, in the gallery, we have Andrea coming up, and Cindy's been really reaching out to a lot of people. She's reached out to all our town council members to make sure that they're invited, and we are all reaching out to our own friends and contacts to make sure there's a nice gathering there. She's been in the chamber newsletter and socials, and also Canvas, so we've been really trying to get some nice coverage for the next show coming up. And Rhonda has a whole separate account with different publications and magazines, and take it away.
Well, we're, thanks to Sam and Danielle, we're getting into calendars, which is great. I hope Marketplace will continue to put us in calendars. This is our ad. I notice it says, I just want to say, it says 50 artists with 60, Michael could probably change it. Do you want to bother?
It's up to you. Yeah, we could definitely update it if he
Okay.
wants to, and then we'll run that again next month, and it can be 60 plus.
All right.
We'll be at
Is it 64 or 69? How many is
It's
it?
evolving.
It's between 60 and 65. Wow. But we've been saying 65. So even if it's 63, I think we just stick
Oh,
with
you'll-
65.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. So that's this, funky little marketplace that everybody reads.
Yeah, that's the key, that everybody reads.
Yeah, everybody reads. And then we're also in the Yountville Sun from Kim. We're also in this, I don't know if you guys get this in Yountville, but, no, this is Marketplace, I'm sorry, Marketplace again. That was last month. With the mustard celebration, we're getting into calendars. This is the one that, I don't know if you get here. This is a Napa Spotlight. They do a St. Helena version, and they do a Calistoga version. It's nice paper and all that. They're, I don't know. We're in their calendar, which I think is great, because a lot of people do read it. So I have a pile here. It's kind of the same repeated support from our local publications, and that's my report.
And I think they would really wonder what was going on if we didn't supply things to them. I think it's really key, Rhonda, and your relationships that you have with these magazines are just absolutely key in keeping the word out. And obviously in Yountville, we know what's going on, hopefully. We put it in the Sun, and we also have lots of marketing. We have banners, we have all kinds of things, but it's really important for all of Napa County and the Bay Area to know what we're doing. And this really gets out there, particularly Napa County.
Both are important. I think your work is significant with all the magazines and publications that you have. So thank you.
That's it.
Yes, thank you both.
Okay, performing arts.
Okay, well, I guess that's me since
you.
Judy's not here.
You're the it girl.
I know. So since I've been away, I actually didn't have anything prepared to report, but I can say that, I'll start with the Art Sip and Stroll musicians. I mean, that is definitely all wrapped up. We were able to rebook, I think, everyone that we had last year, plus added one more that we were really excited about, a gentleman that was performing over at the Villaggio, and so he's agreed to perform as well, and he's really top-notch. So excited about that. The Yountville Summer Concert Series, Sam, because I don't think you've sent me the dates that everybody has been slotted for.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have that there, or...
It's in our rec guide. I can pull it up really quick.
Okay.
And then we just had the one July 14th.
Okay, and I know I sent you a couple of recommendations for the one date, but otherwise we've booked Jason Mavrich and Friends. He's played for us in many forms with his different bands and whatnot before, really good. We have the Traveling Wilburys review that came really highly recommended. They're awesome, so I'm excited that we have them. We have a group called the Second Street Band, and actually the story behind them was kind of funny. Just real quick, I was taking my car in for service, and I had an Uber come pick me up, and I was chatting with the driver. You know, you meet the most interesting people. I always chat with my Uber drivers, and it came up, you know, that I worked on the music for the summer concert series. And he said, well, I'm in a band, and, you know, here's the card from my friend who does the booking and everything. They're amazing, the Second Street Band. So we have them. We also have the Fog City Swampers, and we have Radio Bobcat, which we had last year. And they went over really well. So we have them. We have one more slot because there was a couple other ones that we were trying to get. I was trying to get this Bee Gees, like, you know, kind of like 70s disco Bee Gees tribute, but they're incredible, but they were unfortunately like 3 times our price range. So there was a few that we were trying to get that were just out of our range in terms of what we, you know, had budgeted for, but, we have a couple other good ones that they had inquired about participating, so hopefully one of those is going to fit in.
Sounds like fun.
Do we promote them on the Art Sip and Stroll website?
So I think we're talking about the summer concert series,
Yes.
but we do promote the musicians for Art Sip and Stroll on the website.
Yes.
Oh,
There's
good.
a page for
Good.
musicians. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we see the mapping, we'll know where you're thinking about placing them.
Yes.
And we've really had a lot of inquiries. I mean, more and more inquiries are coming in from musicians, both, solo musicians that are interested in the sip and stroll. And so there were some that I just had to get back to and say, I'm sorry, all of our slots are full, but letting them know, that as we move forward, we've talked about as a commission maybe trying to do some more pop-up type events, in the plaza and things like that. So what I've done with some of these other folks is just said, please stay tuned. I appreciate you reaching out, and even though we can't fill you in this slot this time, doesn't mean that we won't be tapping you, to fill something else.
Nice job, PJ.
Yeah.
Yes,
A lot
very
of
good.
diversity going on in the music scene.
Yeah,
like it. Good
Yeah,
job.
I'm excited for what we have going this year, for sure.
I am too. That sounds very fun.
We increased our budget a bit, which definitely helped. Yeah.
So what about the movie, the Sideways movie?
So the movie, oh, yes. Okay. So, Sam, do you have the date in front of you? I should know off the top of my head, but I don't have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a moment.
Okay.
Friday, August 9th.
Friday, August 9th. Okay. So, and we talked about having, movie snacks like popcorn and things available, and wine for people to be able to purchase, and things like that. So we're just still kind of moving forward with all of the details, but this will be the screening of the original Sideways. So this is going to be a couple weeks ahead of Rex's event.
Then you should be sure to hand out collateral material for the event with Rex at the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's even a possibility that he, and I don't know if we should, because Joy, his manager, mentioned that he might even be willing to come and like introduce the movie,
Well, why not?
which I thought would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right.
And then he can also promote his upcoming event.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Have a copy of his book.
Well, I just didn't want it to take away, and then for people to feel like, well, I went to the movie and Rex introduced it, so I don't need to buy a ticket to his event.
No, I don't think so. I think if anything, it'll encourage them to want to
Okay.
find out more.
Okay.
But you have to do that wisely for just
Yes.
that reason.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, not too much.
a little-
Just enough to
right,
seduce
just enough,
everybody.
as I like to say, leave them stunned, heartbroken, and longing for more.
Yes. May we use that? Stunned heart.
Where,
That's something else, isn't it?
where will Sideways be shown?
In Veterans Memorial Park.
Okay.
Yes.
And is this part of the summer movie series, or is this a standalone?
We're doing it standalone just because we tend that the North Park movie series tends to be very family oriented. So we really just wanted to make this like a new kind of standalone
Make it a separate thing, separate place, so that, yes, it feels like a whole new separate.
So we can have
Happening.
food and wine, or not so much? Or, yeah?
Yep. We're working
More
on
like
it.
movie concessions, we were thinking, popcorn and things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and wine.
And then will the seating be in the amphitheater type thing? Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm excited about that one. That's going to be fun.
That'll be
Both
fun.
of them are outstanding.
Yeah, I'm happy that that's
great
come
it worked
together.
out.
So, and then on the Legacy Roundtable series, I do not have a lot to report on that. We are still trying to get authors. So I secured a commitment from Bonnie Meyer from Silver Oak. And she even did give me several other authors, and we've reached out to all of them, and they've all been unwilling to commit. So we're still working on that, but we have time for that. That's not till much later this year, so I'm not too concerned about that. But the other ones that Judy was working on, we were hoping to have sommeliers and mixologists, and those we're not sure at this point what's happening. It's been a bit of a challenge getting commitments from people. So stay tuned, but
Sure.
okay.
Thank you. Is that it?
Yes.
Great job. Okay, mustard celebration. We are absolutely wrapped up as of today.
Oh, yes.
Yesterday. Excuse me. And so already, of course, there's a meeting in the latter part of April. Is it the 23rd
I think
of
the
April?
23rd.
Yeah, at Jessel's to air everything that we felt about it. And I'm interested if any of you have comments about something you would either like to have as a part of it or critique somehow about it. We haven't really begun to do a lot of planning. I say at Yountville. We do, at this point, plan to combine with the chamber next year for the opening. It hasn't been vetted. Whitney's willing, and we are willing. So the kickoff for the next gallery show, the January gallery show, part of the mustard celebration, the event that we all shared in January with the Friends Gallery Show, would expand to include the chamber, who I think will help us bring vendors in and a different audience than maybe our own. And I think it'll be a big celebration and kind of a nice kickoff from Yountville. So that's about as far. Oh well, you had some PJ, your community center planning for decorations. I think you had something you wanted to do during the mustard celebration. Did you miss that meeting? You're in charge.
That's what happens when you miss a meeting, huh?
Yeah, I missed that meeting.
Instead of the holiday trees, there was the discussion in our budget preparation about spring.
Okay.
And how
Okay.
maybe it could be tied around that. But
Okay.
So
Sorry,
that-
I was gone for a whole month.
I know. But
wasn't
we
it
would have met you
wonderful?
down in Palm Springs, but you didn't invite us. So, anyway, that's the kind of thing. If you're working on a project and it fits between the middle of January to the end of March,
That's the
happy to
mustard.
take.
That's mustard time.
It's the mustard season. We get on calendars. They did a lot of promotion, and we were talking, Sam and Noelle and I were talking before the meeting. There is no budget, so they're taking a lot of, what do you call it? In-kind
In kind of.
support. So they're working on getting a budget and maybe doing some promotion next year. They got to work that out. So anyway, if you have any thoughts, let me know. Yeses?
Yes, I have a question, and that is, isn't George Rothwell responsible for founding the Mustard Festival originally?
The Mustard Festival
Right.
versus the celebration.
Right. But I was wondering if there's any place in the mustard celebration to give him some attention and do a legacy thing, perhaps with George.
Well, that's a nice thought. Jessel knows, they know each other fairly well.
Yeah.
George has his handful right now, but we're talking a
Right,
year from.
right, yeah.
But that would be nice.
Yeah.
There,
So it's just a thought.
no, it is nice. The Mustard Festival in the old days was celebrating the same time of year, but it really was it was run a completely
Oh,
different
yeah,
way.
very different.
Very different. So the celebration continues to try to separate from that image.
I see.
But, George is always involved, and he's beloved, so I'll
He
mention
is
that.
beloved.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Anyway, just a thought.
Good one.
He's a sweetheart.
Yes, he is. Okay. What else have we got? Oh, Art Sip and Stroll, Sam.
yes. So, sorry, let me find my notes. We're just about a little over 100 tasting packages sold, not surprising for this time. Our major marketing actually kicks off right about now. So I think I discussed at the previous meeting that we're going to be working with the Press Democrat for most of our marketing needs this year, because they provide a lot of those same services that we were using Hearst for, but they match us dollar for dollar every advertising dollar spent, because we're a nonprofit, which is really generous. So that kicks off today, and we have a whole schedule of things that we're working on. And then, of course, we have the marketing that came out in the Marketplace magazine, and we just have kind of a laundry list of things, working with the local radio station and the Yountville Sun, of course, and then all of our online marketing as well. We, as Rhonda discussed before, we're between 60 and 65 artists. So we had a couple drop out. We've offered some spots, so we're kind of finding that spot. We already have 18 wineries.
That's great.
So I'm actually going to cut it off at 18 because we don't need any more than that. So
That is fantastic.
yeah, and it's a lot of new wineries as well. So it's really
Fantastic,
exciting.
Sam.
Yeah.
That is
So
amazing.
and that kind of snuck up on me because Danielle's been monitoring the response and emails for that, and all of a sudden I looked at the spreadsheet and I was like, oh, okay.
So we're going to take them, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's great. And
That's
you know what? That makes up
fantastic.
for if we have a couple empty artist spots.
Oh,
It
yeah.
gives more room for wine.
So next
Very
up,
cool.
Rhonda is so helpful working on the mapping, so deciding who goes where. And as PJ said, we have the 8 musicians lined up, and so now I'm just really working kind of on like food options and narrowing down with Vintage Estates what they want to provide and not provide, kind of as that first right of refusal for offering food sales on site. Or so I think I have 4 interested food trucks, so it's just kind of waiting to see what is going to be available and then where we put them.
That lawn, if they're not going to do food on that lawn,
it's perfect.
cries for BMW.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too. So and that came up just today, the BMW thing. So we'll work on that. Otherwise, it's really just all the little contracts. So working with Peak Productions to get the contract all in place for all the tenting and the timeline of that, and then all the behind the scenes things. By the end of this week, though, I hope to email out to all the artists the electronic collateral files. So I send them a Dropbox link that has a post for Instagram, a post for Facebook, and then our flyers and our rack cards electronically, so they can hopefully start marketing for themselves too. And then I know the rack cards have been ordered, so as soon as those come, we'll start distributing those locally. And
Sam, the rack cards, Michael said 3,500 is about the same as 5,000. You know how that is.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think we want 3,500, but since we're talking,
yeah. I just end up throwing or recycling so many that I feel
I
like
know.
it's wasteful, even if the price is the same. So
Yeah.
I think for 3,500,
it's still
I'm
under
happy with
$300, I think, for
Yeah.
30. Yeah, that's what I told him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where was I? So yeah, otherwise, I mean, everything's just really falling in line, and as we move forward and we assign the artists, and really the kind of the 30 days before is the crunch time of getting all that out to them and all of that. So yeah, and then we'll ask for volunteers too. That'll be coming up. We're not doing, obviously, the wine tasting pavilion, so we won't need as many volunteers, but we'll still have the 2 ticketing and info booths here and at the Vintage Estate, so having people for those is great. And then we'll have the will call and shipping area at the community center again, so having people in there is great too. So
Do you usually have any trouble getting the number of volunteers you need?
we haven't in the past, no.
Okay.
Yeah, and so through Noel and PUC, we'll have a photographer and a videographer there that has just been huge for us. So that we're getting great photos and video content from year to year for our marketing efforts. So that's all
Do you
lined up
need
as well.
do you need any of us to volunteer to help at the ticketing or things like that? I mean,
Usually I try to fill those with other people so that you guys
Okay.
can wander around and meet the artists and,
Okay.
and enjoy it. But I'll let you know if I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. I know last year I kind of did treat that as my job, going and checking in with all the musicians and making sure they were fine, and, and stopping at all the booths and asking the artists for feedback if they had questions or things that they wanted to pass along. So
Yeah.
we can just do that.
Great. That's my update.
Thank you, Sam. It's just beginning. Arts and Minstrel. Okay. Are there any staff informational reports?
No, just regarding the budget, I did have my first town manager and finance director budget meeting, and so that will come to council for our first budget workshop on, cannot remember right now, May 2nd?
April 16th.
April 16th, that's our kickoff, and May 7th. Okay. So I will, as I see the agenda and timeline, of course, that's open to the public. You don't feel like you have to attend. They don't see the detail that we've gone to, the extent of the planning we've done. They see very broad categories. But I will keep you updated as that moves along. But as of right now, I don't have any real concerns.
Sam, I have a question. Does the cleaning of chaos come out of our budget?
We have to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we get, kind of a better estimate, we'll try to navigate, how that works. It's not currently in the general fund budget. And we also kind of have this, we do have some sculpture cleaning budgeted every year, but not to the extent that's going to need. So Brad has a couple ideas that we've talked about. We can always look at the Town of Yountville Community Foundation Fund as well if we needed to. And the only update I'll give to on the budget is, when we were talking and I proposed the budget to all of you, it was the Art Walk would be sustained by moving those expenses into the general fund, because as you know, we're not getting a lot of money in that 1% fee fund. But Celia kind of saw it best as being the other way around. We'll keep it all in the fund, but the general fund will transfer money into that fund to sustain it. So it's just semantics, but it'll look a little different when you see the final of it. So yeah. It's hard to understand. I'm sorry. I don't know how to make it. It's just switching where the money is going and coming out of, swapping it.
So it's important to keep our art walk high profile.
Yes.
So that everybody considers that amount of money worth it. Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Sam. Okay. That was the staff informational. Any commissioner comments or reports?
Well, I'm going to be possibly serving on the jury duty, hopefully not long. But then on the 29th of April, I'll be leaving for Greece, and I'll be gone for almost a month, Greece and Italy.
How lovely for you. So you'll miss.
Were we supposed to feel bad?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, and will you miss the sip and stroll?
I'm afraid that I can't believe that, because we've always had it in April before.
Not in a long time.
No? Oh. Well, anyway,
For that.
I
Okay.
regret that I miss Arts at Minstrel. I really do, because I love that event.
Well, you'll be Zooming with us every week, so we're okay with that.
Oh, sorry. Got a frog on my throat.
I'm so glad you get to go. Have a good
that'll be
time.
lovely.
Yeah, I
I
just
was going to say, I was
get
going to
okay from the doc.
add a comment. You guys all know I was down in the desert, down in La Quinta for a month, and just what a lovely artistic little community that is. And I tried to partake in as much of it as I could while I was there. My visit was more focused on the tennis the first couple of weeks, but after that, I did go to their version of an out loud, which they called an open mic night. But and they have just a great little La Quinta Historical Museum, which I thought was really awesome. A lot of local art, featured permanently that talks about the history of La Quinta and things. I thought it was really cool. Anyway, just so many different things that I took away from that, and meeting some of the people down there. I can't wait to go back and soak up some more of that, because I think,
It's good.
yeah.
I think it's a time now when the arts are flourishing throughout the country, actually throughout the world. When you travel, I know you'll see also, public art, like our art walk, is everywhere. In all the countries, in the major cities, it's really beautiful. And out loud, the spoken word, it's just, it's a wonderful time, I think all of us feel, to be involved in the arts, because there's such a presence, and if we're all creating all these wonderful events and installations and art walk, it's wonderful that people want to see it and that it's appreciated and enjoyed. So I'm not surprised to hear you say that, but I'm also very excited to hear you say that.
They have in the Old Town, they have a Mercado kind of. Did you go to that there's artists that are involved in it, and there's a food.
So they had, the big one was on the day that I arrived, and so I missed it.
They used to, there was the La Quinta Arts Festival, which was historic and very prestigious. It always was, I think it was the first weekend of March, which you would have hit.
I drove down on March 1st,
Yeah.
and that was, so it took place, I think, that day, and so I didn't get there until late.
This is a different one.
Oh, okay.
It was a highly juried group of artists, and anyway, they quit doing it during COVID. But it was huge, and people that time of year, you probably felt the impact of Canadians. Mm-hmm. They all come down from, why not? Because it's winter up there. So it was always really successful.
I've been to it before in the
had
past.
you been?
Yes, because I'd been, yes.
Yeah, the wind. Some years the wind just wipes out the whole event. But I missed that show because it was a really good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun. Great.
I was going to mention one other thing, and I forgot. I've been in the process of trying to speak to the village of Lac de Brome, in speaking of Canada, and I read online that so the author Louise Penny lives there, but she's been in England and Europe promoting her new book that's coming out in October. But anyway, on Facebook, she wrote that I'm back in Lac de Brome. So I wrote to her and I said, I live in a small village like Lac de Brome, and we're very interested in the arts, and I'd like to invite you to get to know us. We'd like to get to know you and all this stuff. And I left it there, and someone liked it. And I looked at who liked what I said to her, and it was Keanu Reeves. Oh. So I sent him a note, and I said, well, we'd be delighted to help, if you would like to accompany, the author, we'd be happy to have you come too. So I thought I'm trying to break the ice. I watch their city council, what they're up to and things, and even though it's mostly in French, they do have the English translation as well. But it's something that I've been looking at it since I joined, and hopefully, maybe next year, I'll get PJ to help me. She's really good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It would be just phenomenal.
Would that be fun?
Louise Penny, oh my God.
I know.
Good literary event.
A good literary event. Jeffrey?
Instead of a book, books. That's great. Thanks for continuing to push on it. That's what
working
it's
on
going
it.
to take. Yeah. Well, I have one. I always like it when our commissioners share some things about their real lives and occupation. So Noelle and Tim of Partners to Media were nominated with their M4 project for a Taste Award, which is the day after the Academy Awards. And if you look up their website, it was very glam. I mean, it was absolutely the same kind of thing. Noelle had a deep purple velvet Ralph Lauren pantsuit. With nails and lipstick to match. Oh, you didn't do that. You changed them up.
No. These were texts we were sending back and forth to each other, and we were joking around. Rhonda wanted to know if I would be wearing Chanel.
Yeah. Well, you said Gucci at first, but then you got honest. So anyway, I'm sure it was stunning. And
It
Harry,
was a lot of
Winston,
fun.
right?
Harry Winston, yes.
Absolutely. All of
But I had to give it all back. But Tim wore one diamond stud in his ear, so. No, this is all. It was wonderful. It's a media award in Los Angeles, and some of the people that attend, some of the nominees, their motion pictures, the Food Channel, House and Gardens, different. It's a real media event. So
You won.
No. We were nominated. I have to be honest. We were nominated. We were one of 5 nominees, and I can honestly say we really were thrilled to be nominated. It means a lot when your peers
Absolutely.
and the community that you come from, which was entertainment for both of us, when they like what you've done and nominate you for something. So it was a lot of fun, and thank you for that.
welcome.
Rhonda.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
It's the highest award for creatives, producers, hosts, and directors of lifestyle programs, series, shows, and cinema.
So my attorney got to you too, huh? With the press release. Thank you, Rhonda. That's very, very lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being
Congratulations to you.
Yeah,
Tim.
congratulations. We're lucky you're here with us.
I know that you still have time for us. Thank you for not forgetting the little people
stop.
on your journey to the top.
I'd like to thank
This
the
commission-
Academy.
This commission is one of my greatest joys. And the people who are on it, because we all have fun. That's what's best of all. We all find our happy spots, and that's when we all do our best.
I want to see the pictures.
I know.
I haven't seen the picture, so.
Yeah, the website's a little behind, but your personal pictures would be nice. Or those of you, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, if there's anything else or nothing else, then is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. See you all in May
I'm afraid not.
something, or May? I'll accept you guys. Oh, you travel people. We'll miss you.